When the Kraven comes.
Kraven the hunter.
When the man.
Kraven the hunter.
Kraven the hunter.
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about anything, everything that comes out of the crap shoot. I'm your host, JD. This is my co-host.
Kraven the hunter. Kraven
James.
the hunter.
I call him James. Everyone else calls him Jimmy. It just works like that.
The hunter.
A lot of things happen this week, James. Well, we just watched When a Man Comes Around.
We just watched
Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
We watched it. Now, James, is it a good movie? In fact, is it even a great movie?
Yeah.
It was not as bad as I was expecting. That's for sure.
This movie made me realize. This movie made me realize there's an animal in all of us.
This movie made me realize that James gets a headache every single time you watch any movie.
I get a headache a lot.
The very recent movies that I've remembered, at some point in the movie, you start like crunching up,
start holding my
chair.
head.
Yeah, you put your hand on your head, lean back, and go like, "Oh, I've got a headache." But that doesn't mean the movie is bad. Now, is the movie bad? Well, that's a different story. But
yes, the answer is yes.
Well, why not just give out your score right now, James? I mean, just lay it on the table.
Sure. That's a 3 out of 10.
You think it's a 3 out of 10?
I think it's a very bad movie. Objectively speaking.
Hold on. Hold on. I just gotta.
I broke your brain a bit, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I was just reeling in shock from how low your score was there. I'd say it was probably I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. I think for me it was slightly better than an average movie that I would watch. I think it's just my kind of movie, James. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's my kind of movie.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was a fun movie. It was just also fucking absolute
it just made no sense, and the story is trash. But I like the action. Action is cool. Some parts of the CGI didn't look very great, but they were really funny looking, and I appreciate that. So, yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. It was up my alley. Thank God. But let's talk about Kraven now.
Oh yeah, what were we talking about before? Sorry.
Well, we were talking about the animals in all of us.
Yes. Sorry, my bad. I was thinking about the fact that the Kraven character, the character Kraven the Hunter, doesn't actually kill anything but a fish.
Well, I mean, he tries killing an animal like in the past, or that flashback.
He tries killing. It's not the same as killing, though, is it?
Does he actually kill an animal here?
He kills a fish.
Like another animal? Does he kill another animal?
No, he literally kills nothing else. He doesn't kill any other animal throughout the whole movie. He
kills people. Consider those animals.
Yeah, humans are animals. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Humans are animals. Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. He does go around and he kills people mostly. Yeah. But James is all stuck in the past. He's stuck in the comic. I'm
stuck in the fact that that's what Kraven the Hunter is. A guy that hunts and kills animals.
Who hunts animals only, really, pretty much. He's also He's also the bad guy of Spider-Man.
You should be sorry. Yeah.
I bet you're.
By the way, that's the whole reason he hunts Spider-Man, is because he's killed all the other animals, or not all the other ones. To be clear, what I'm saying is, Kraven is a hunter and he likes hunting dangerous game, which is why he wears a vest with like a lion's head on it and stuff.
Right.
Because a lion is a very dangerous hunt, and they gave lore to it for some reason in this one.
He hunts the most dangerous game. Well, you see, Kraven in Kraven the Hunter is he's an animal guy. He loves animals. That's number one. Number two, not only does he love animals, he's like I think he had like talked to animals, sort of, like mind.
He can
feel
adapt
the animals'
to
emotions or something.
Yeah, he like has some kind of connection with animals.
You know how like Aquaman can like control like marine life? It's like that, but Craven's like on land. He does the land animals thing, you know?
Well, to be fair, Aquaman does it by suggestion. By the way, he doesn't actually have control over them. He just asked them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's because they're not animals, they're fish, and that's why they listen. It's because, they're just dumb fish.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
You
count.
say that to their faces, man.
They don't count.
So
I will.
strong.
I mean, I
You'd be
would
so
if
tough
there
with
were
your
any
words,
fish around
man.
me, but I don't really keep that kind of company.
Yeah, classic
So,
fish racist.
I mean, what
Classic when a man
are you gonna
comes
start defending
around.
fish now, James? Are you gonna start defending fish now?
Yeah, you shouldn't be eating them even on Sundays.
Well, guess what? I'm gonna eat them even on Sundays and also not even on Sundays too. I'm just gonna eat them. What are you gonna do about that then, huh? That's right.
Don't you get
I
me
didn't think
started.
I didn't think you would do it. Didn't think you'd do
Yeah.
anything.
I'll kill you, like I killed Brian Thompson.
Um, well, so Kraven, he can kind of talk to animals, I guess. He
Yeah.
power of suggestions animals, and that's one of his powers. Apparently, he's like a superhero in this. He's got like super strength
Yeah,
and like
apparently.
hyper durability, just like in the comics. He's got like super strength and
Classic hero Kraven.
and he's
Don't
like,
ask.
well,
Don't ask about what Kraven's last hunt is about.
he's got a he's got Spider-Man powers pretty much. He could climb up walls and
It's the most funny. Like, yes, he has Spider-Man powers because they needed a Spider-Man character. It's yet again they've created a movie where they needed a Spider-Man like character, and they just took a Spider-Man villain and said, "Yeah, you're Spider-Man."
yeah, you're Spider-Man. First it was Venom. Venom can crawl on walls, and he's like
And it
Spider-Man.
was Morbius.
Yeah, and then it was Morbius, and Morbius can crawl up walls and has super strength and stuff. And now it's Kraven. Kraven has super strength and like and he can climb up walls. And he's like he's got like a lot of durability on him. You can take a lot of hits. So yeah, Kraven's like super strong in the movie, and he's super strong because we get this flashback scene near the beginning of the movie that's like 20 minutes ish long. It was really long.
It's so fucking like I made a point of telling it to Jay, like, holy shit, we're still here.
We were like, yeah, you were
so long.
You
for
were
no
like, you were like
reason.
halfway through the flashback, and you were like, it's still going, and I'm like, of course, James.
Because I wasn't
How
thinking that
are
we
we
were going to
supposed
be
to-
like sitting on it.
How are we supposed to figure out Kraven's backstory if his backstory is only like 5
He's a
minutes
hunter.
long? It's
He
gotta be
hunts.
20
What
minutes
else
long.
do you need to know?
Well, why does he hunt? How did he get these powers? Like, come on,
Because he's
James.
a hunter.
You just say, "Oh, he's a hunter," like him
Yes,
climbing,
that's the
scaling
only
up the
backstory
walls,
you
and
ever
like
needed.
ripping like these metal grates apart with his hands is just something that hunters do. No, James.
He doesn't have superpowers in the comics. That's why I'm like, I don't know why they did this.
Well, I mean, we
That's
saw
not
the
a thing.
superpowers first, and then it went to his backstory, and then you were like, "Oh, why do we need his backstory? He's a hunter. That's duh." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know any
Yeah.
hunters that can rip apart,
You're saying things, but I'm
That can-
still not wrong with what you're
that
saying.
can dodge bullets by crawling the ground like Wolverine in Wolverine versus Deadpool."
Yeah, he's just really good. That's the whole point. Is that Kraven is like a really fucking like, almost borderline metahuman like person. He has like such heightened abilities and everything
Yeah, but
from
James,
his
that
hunt
wasn't-
because he hunts such dangerous things.
That wasn't
while being a
metahuman
regular
like
human.
that was metahuman, James. It was.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but so we get this like 20-minute backstory for Kraven, and it was him like when he was like a teenager, and we get introduced to his father, who plays a lot of father characters. Apparently, he was the father of Superman. Now he's the father of Kraven. Russell Crowe, and
He does a lot of work.
Russell Crowe is he's a hunter, like an actual hunter, a normal one.
Yeah,
And
he
hunts
is
animals.
Kraven.
Yeah, he is Kraven.
He is the epitome of what the character Kraven was and
Well, you
should
know
have been.
why he's called Kraven, right? It's because his last name is Kraven.
No, his name is just Kraven. That's why he's called Kraven.
No. We figured out that their names is like Kraven's name is Sergio, but his last name is Kravenoff, and that's why he.
By the way, hilarious. I don't know why, but his name being Sergio is just really funny.
Yeah, it's Sergio Kravenoff, and so he's Kraven. But his dad is also Kraven, and he's like comic accurate Kraven.
His dad is Kraven this dick.
Yeah, and he's just he's an actual hunter, and he hunts around like animals and stuff. So his flashback is when he was in the savannah with his half brother and his dad, His half brother is Dimitri, but he calls him like Demon or something. His nickname.
His name is Dima.
No, it's
Or
Dimitri.
they call him Dima.
They call him Dima, like that's his nickname, but his name is Dimitri. You know how like in Morbius when I forgot his name. Smith?
Like in Morbius when he goes, I got a parasite.
No, in Morbius, you know the bad guy. He's got a nickname for the bad guy, but it's like nowhere close to his actual name. What was that? Do you remember that?
Yeah, his name was Matt Smith, the Doctor.
No, it wasn't. He called him like Jeremy or something. His actual name is like Scott. It was like really it was a weird point. But that's what it was like that, you know? It was just a nickname.
Oh my god, was this movie just this movie was almost borderline just Morbius.
It was Morbius.
It's borderline Morbius.
I mean, it's basically it's another movie just like Morbius. I mean,
these two are certainly movies.
I think so. At first, Sony made Morbius, and they're like, "Man, we cannot make Morbius again." And then they made Venom, and they're like,
they made Venom. They made Venom 2, then they made Morbius.
Oh, Morbius came out after Venom 2.
Yeah.
They made Morbius and they're like, man, we need to make Venom again. Like another Venom. But then they failed. And they're like, okay, now this is going to be the Venom. And then they make Kraven and it's not Venom. So
are you aware of their long history of wanting to make Spider-Man villain like movies?
I'm not super aware of it. I know they want to for some reason, but I don't know why they want
to. So they only own the rights to. I mean, they half own the rights to Spider-Man, but the other half does belong to Disney, which is why like there hasn't been a Spider-Man solo movie, but there's been all these Spider-Man related character solo movies.
Mm-hmm.
They own the rights to everybody else.
Okay, so the only character they have half rights on is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever a new Spider-Man movie is made, do both of them just have to agree and be like, yeah, this is going to be a movie?
That's why Spider-Man was almost no longer in the MCU for a minute.
I see.
Because there was a contract dispute over who gets to
Sony
own
was like we don't want this Spider-Man thing anymore with the in-year movies.
No, yeah, it was that. It was also because like Disney wanted to like own like the merchandise rights and not just the in-theater rights.
Gotta get that merch, baby, that merch.
Yeah, that merch. And so it's like on top of that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, a lot of corporate stuff that happens.
A lot of corpo shit.
Mm-hmm. High corpo.
Mm-hmm. You know how it is.
Yeah, so instead of making Spider-Man movies, they just make Spider-Man villain movies.
Yeah. Because that's all they own the rights to.
They have the rights to that.
They have the rights to them, which this is a thing I've always said. I don't know why they keep trying to make the Spider-Man villains into heroes. It's been a thing that I just don't understand.
That's the thing. It's not like Kraven's like an anti-hero or something. He's just straight up a hero.
No, Kraven's a fucking monster. Like, like that's why I was like, when I was watching this, I'm like, this is not Kraven, because Kraven's a monster of a person. This guy, I think, dug up Spider-Man's like dead body, because Spider-Man did die, and I think he dug up his body, revived him, and then like torturously
and then hunted him.
Yeah, because he's a fucking monster. And he's like, Spider-Man, you were my best hunt, and the fact that you did not die to me is a tragedy.
Because Kraven's an insane guy.
He's fucking insane.
In the movie, they say he's an insane guy, but he just
but like
his worst thing he's done is kill bad guys. He just kills bad guys, which is I don't know, not like the most insane thing I've ever seen.
Like a psychopathic murderer.
No, he's not like he doesn't murder because he loves murdering. He just murders bad guys, really. That's about it.
You're on my list.
He doesn't even kill animals, except for that fish.
No, and again, that's what I was telling you about. Like the whole like him not killing animals thing blew my mind when I heard about it. I was like, "There's no way. Surely that's not real."
Kraven the Hunter, not
Kraven the Hunter,
animals?
Guy whose most iconic look that has stood the test of time is the fact that he wears a lion head as a vest.
Mm-hmm.
Surely he's not a friend of animals.
Surely he hunts animals. No.
Surely Kraven the Hunter.
No.
Hunts.
Yeah, so like the bad guys in these movies are like they're like poachers and like people who hunt animals. That's who the bad guys are. And Kraven just like brutally kills them. I remember in that one the scene after the flashback where he or no, it was in the flashback where like some poachers they kill like a buffalo to get its horns, and then Kraven like walks up on them, and then he just like brutally kills them, kills the poachers.
Yeah, no, Kraven would be like, yo, here's what they should have done. Kraven should have been upset that they weren't hunting, that they were just trying to be that they were trying to make money off the horn.
Yeah, this is a profit business. It's not. It's not for the hunt. Like, it's for the money.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What the hell is wrong with you?
You do not care for the glory, the love of this sport? Do you not hunt to hunt?
Yeah, and his father is like all obsessed with weak and strong, and he doesn't like his brother.
Yeah.
Dimitri.
Again, very Kraven of his father.
That did feel like Kraven. Yeah.
Except for the hatred for his brother part. I don't think I ever recall Kraven being like upset with his brother in the comics. I think they've always had just like a kind of like relationship.
Yeah, but it's not Kraven. It's Kraven's father.
Right. Yeah. I know, man. I know.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was really funny because in the flashback, there's a lot of unintentionally funny scenes, I think, that they put in there. Some of them I think were intentional, but there's this one scene where like so in the flashback, young Kraven, he's hunting with his father, and they get attacked by Tsar, the big lion that they're trying to hunt.
Zakar or whatever the fuck the name was.
Tsar. So it's like Tzar, spelled like that.
Tsar. Oh yeah, Tsar.
Yeah, that's what they call the lion. And his father's all like, oh, big. His father is like a super heavy Russian accent. I don't know if it's actually
the only heavy Russian. Yeah, the only heavy accent, by the way.
Yeah, the only accent. Everyone else
family of people.
It's Kraven and his brother are like American accent, zero accent. Everyone else is British accent, and then his father's a heavy Russian accent.
What was Rhino's accent? He had something weird.
He didn't have an accent. It was also just
he did. Speed. He had like a weird voice or something.
Well, he was doing a voice, but it wasn't like an accent. It was just because he's a little like man child kind of thing, you know. Anyway, so his father's are like, oh, we are hunting big animals, Tsar. Big roar. Big. You could hear a roar like thunder coming down from mountains. And then the very next scene, they're playing like thunder noises.
It's so funny.
It was just a really funny way of transitioning. And then they get attacked by Tsar, Kraven and his brother, and they're holding guns, and Kraven just doesn't shoot the lion because he's like, I don't know. He doesn't have powers. He makes a connection or something. He does not have powers at this point, by the way. So he's just staring down this lion, and it's like, I think
he just realizes that the lion isn't a killer. The lion is just being hunted so much that it's fighting to survive and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess he feels
that's the whole thing.
He feels empathy for this lion, so he doesn't shoot it.
Which, by the way, no, he shouldn't. You're Kraven Hunter. You shouldn't feel empathy for the lion.
Well, he's a hero now. Okay,
you should be upset that they're hunting in such an unsportsmanlike way of just like mass fucking like trying to win by power, which is not a very Kraven thing. Kraven's like, yeah, I'm gonna take only a fucking spear and go hunt a great
I'm gonna take this small knife and I'm gonna hunt you by cutting both your jugular veins. I'm gonna take this
small knife and eat it.
And eat it. Death Note music starts playing. But yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that was turned on the whole time. But anyway, so he gets the lion gets shot by his father from a distance because his father's a hunter, and so the lion attacks young Kraven and like just like mauls him. He's like mauling him, and his father's shooting the lion. Lion can take some hits, man. You know, it was a big lion.
Lion took like 4 fucking shots.
It was a big lion from like a shotgun or something. I don't know what rifle they were using. It looked like a double barrel shotgun.
It's a double barrel, but not shotgun. It's a rifle. It takes a rifle cartridge. Okay. It is a hunting shotgun, I guess technically.
A hunting double barrel rifle.
Yeah, it's weird. I know.
I don't know what gun that is.
It's what hunters really cool. Like. It's what genuine hunters of like the fucking like 17 to 1900s used to use. It's the sportsman weapon, you know.
The sportsman weapon.
Yeah, it's
he's using that, and the lion just like tanks like 3 or 4 shots, and then just walks off with the he like runs off with young Kraven, and so Kraven's like dying because he got mauled by this lion, And we get introduced to this other character, the female lead of the. It's not a romantic interest. It's just a female lead for the.
Which I'm surprised
movie.
by. I will say that I'm surprised they had the conscientious effort to not make this a love interest, especially with how they set it up at the beginning.
Yeah, they set it up like it was going to be, but it's not.
I was like,
I do
dude, I was
appreciate that.
so uninterested because of it, because I was expecting them to make it a love interest and see that it's a platonic relationship.
I do
I'm
appreciate that, but that the girl is just like friends with Kraven, and that's about it. That's all there is there.
And they weren't
so
like, okay, we got to shoehorn a love
This
plot
this
into it.
young version of the female lead, I forgot her name. It's like Callisto or something.
Calypso.
Calypso. It was a weird name.
You know, she's the character from Pirates of the Caribbean.
You know, the new game that the Dead Space guys made, Calypso Protocol.
Calypso Project. Is it called the Calypso Project? I thought it was the.
No, it was called the Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, I was about to say the Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, it's just nowhere close. So anyway,
you know, it's got a CAL in it.
Yeah, she gets like this tarot card reading from her grandma, and also this potion of like strength. And sorry, was it her grandma? Or was it her aunt? I think it was her aunt.
Her grandma.
Her grandma. She gets it from her grandma, and her grandma has like the heaviest British accent you ever heard. They're in like northern Ghana, by the way. She's got a heavy British accent.
The performance was crazy, by the way. We got to say that.
Her performance was strange because it was like, you know that meme where the girl's like doing she's filming a video and she's like, the cube goes into the square hole, and then the triangle goes into the triangle hole. But like the way he says it is like every word is like the same tone,
inflection,
and every word is evenly spaced out, like zero spaces between each words. It sounded robotic, you know, like a AI talk made it. And so that's what the grandma sounds like, but just British. So she pulls out and she's like, "This is a potion. It is a potion of strength, very powerful." And that's what she said.
She also holds it.
Yeah.
And like holds it very specifically.
She holds it like you know, index finger and thumb on the top and bottom, so you could see the logo on the side. And it was a symbol of some spirit. It's I don't know really, but it's like some kind of potion. And she goes, "Very powerful." And then she hands it to Calypso. And then during a Savannah photography trip or something with her parents,
yeah,
Calypso,
they're not hunters. They're
they're just sightseers or something.
They're literally just people that are there to watch.
They're tourists.
Yeah, they're tourists. They're the most honest version of a tourist. A tourist.
Well, they're honest, but Calypso's not a very honest tourist, because you know what she does? She gets off into the truck and wanders off into the wild.
I've abandoned my child.
I've abandoned my mission.
Sorry, quick side note. I found the funniest fucking video yesterday of a guy doing a parody of like the top 10 actor performances, and it's got like the fucking Heath Ledger's Joker. It has the fucking "I've abandoned my child" thing.
Yeah.
But the very first one is the scene in, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but Jake Gyllenhaal's Nightcrawler, where he punches a mirror and screams into it, and the guy just actually punches a mirror and fucking breaks it and screams for 1 second before cutting away. And it's so genuine, but done as like a joke to mock them doing that. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, man.
I have seen Jake Gyllenhaal, like a gif of Jake Gyllenhaal doing that. Yeah.
I'm sure I've sent it to you.
Yeah, I think you did. Mm-hmm. Did he actually break that mirror in that scene? That was like real?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why he was okay.
But the guy recreating it did not need to break the mirror, but did buy a mirror specifically to break.
to break it.
Recreating it for the joke.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid good. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so Calypso wanders off into the wild to get closer shots of the animals. No, I'm just kidding. She wanders off into the wild and then just somehow stumbles across young Draven.
She's called to it, like, mentally. Yeah, it's like she's calling her.
It's calling her. So the lion, like with young Draven still in the mouth, just drops Draven onto the ground, and he's dying, bleeding out. And then the lion just walks away. And then she goes up to him. She hands him the tarot card, like, check out this card. Just got it yesterday. That's bone.
Shut up.
And then he And then she pours the potion into his mouth, and he gets like a bunch of flashbacks, like powers surging through his body. And that's how he gets the superpowers, is because of the potion. Very powerful, right? And then he gets airlifted to a hospital with the tarot card still in his pocket, and the doctors are like trying to revive him. It doesn't work, and yeah, that was like basically all his backstory. That's how he got the powers, the important part. The rest of it is just filler, not super important. And then we go back to modern day, and Kraven is like a renowned, I guess, I don't know what they would, he's just like an assassin.
He's a hunter, JD.
They call him the hunter, but he's like an assassin. And he just goes and kills bad guys that are on his list. And he's got a bunch of people
You're
on his
list.
Yeah. And so the thing is, I guess he's like he tracks people pretty well because he's a hunter, right? So he's like, he can find people. And so he's like, and then he goes to like the lawyer girl, and he's like, yeah, I need you to help me find the people on my list. And so she's like, okay, why not? But then we get introduced to the bad guy of the movie, and you know who it is, James? It's the Rhino. But the Rhino's not what you thought the Rhino would look like, because apparently the Rhino did show up in the flashback. He had a really bad haircut, like long hair.
He had a No Country for Old Men looking haircut. It was
he
crazy.
Did actually, yeah. You look like the No Country for Old Men.
Javier Bardem.
Mm-hmm. He had that haircut, and he was like, I don't know what he was with Kraven's father, like a associate.
He was like trying to get like funding from Kraven's family, and like, I guess according to him, get their respect.
Something like that, yeah. But then I guess he got estranged from them, and he broke off contact. But that's the Rhino, and now in modern day, he's got a much better haircut. But he's
it's short.
He has one outfit for the entire movie. And it's a white dress shirt, and he's wearing a really small backpack.
It's so
on top
tiny.
of the shirt, and he's got dress pants, and that's about it. That's his outfit. It's like business cat. It's like business with a small backpack, and we figure out why he's wearing the small backpack all the time, James. You were making fun of it before, but there is a plot-related reason why he wears the backpack.
It's so tiny, though, and it didn't need to be.
It is really tiny.
That's the funny thing. It didn't need to be that small.
So he's got a little tube hooked up to his backpack coming from his like abdomen, and it's injecting this medicine cocktail into him.
Why'd you pause?
No reason. It's injecting this medicine into him that keeps him looking normal. Because what he did is after he broke up with Kraven's father, he found this doctor in New York City, a biochemist who is not Dr. Connors, and this doctor, I guess, changed him, so they like gave him like a super soldier serum, and it made his skin like harden into into a rhino. So he's like always slowly transforming into a rhino if he doesn't take the medicine. So that's why he just has the medicine like tube hooked up to him to just constantly, in his backpack there's nothing but the pack of medicine. It's like an IV bag. So that's what's in this backpack. There's nothing else in there. And that's the main bad guy. And so what he does is he's trying to kill Kraven because he's threatened by him, I think. And so when Kraven goes to celebrate his brother's birthday in the city, the Rhino sends a team after him to try and capture Kraven, but they don't find him and instead find his brother. So they capture his brother instead. And then we get a cool chase sequence with Kraven.
Oh my God, that's who it is. Miles Warren, the fucking jackal. JD, another animal, by the way. The jackal.
What
I just remember. I was like, fuck, why? Miles Warren. It's the character who's responsible for creating one of my favorite Spider-Man characters, but also one of the worst characters ever.
Yeah.
He's a guy who's just like a scientist that's like really obsessed with like merging people with animals.
The
As you can
Jackal?
tell, the Jackal,
That's an
and he
actual character
created.
from Marvel?
Yes,
That's the doctor that they were talking about?
that's the doctor. By the way, this guy is borderline a pedophile.
Okay.
Just to
He's a
clear
villain
the
though,
air real
right? He's
quick.
a villain.
He is a villain.
Yeah, there you go.
He's who started the whole clone crisis within the Spider-Man stories because he obsessed over Gwen Stacy and was like really upset when he saw Peter Parker got with Gwen Stacy. So he's like, huh, "I'll show you," and he created a clone of her. And
What?
this guy was their teacher in like high school.
I've never heard of this. What the hell?
He's a really fucking weird character. But he also created one of my favorite characters, Scarlet Spider, aka Kane Parker, who's an identical clone of Peter, but he can grow like these bone blades out of his wrists,
Uh-huh.
and he has
So
the
he's
ability to turn into a giant
Wolverine?
fucking tarantula. He's Wolverine with one giant bone, like sharp bone piece that grows out of his wrist, and also he can sometimes turn into just a fucking like giant tarantula.
He just turns into a giant spider.
Yes.
Okay.
He's not man spider, but he's borderline that.
No, he just
but
turns
yeah.
into an actual spider. It's not man spider. It's just a spider.
Yeah, you see, it's very simple. I
Yeah.
don't know how you could be confused. But yeah, that's who Miles Warren is. I've been wondering. I was like, fuck, who is Miles Warren?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
that's who it
name
is,
of
the
that they
Jackal.
said in the movie, Miles Warren.
So stupid.
They did name drop the doctor. I just don't remember what the name was.
It was
So-
Miles Warren.
Yeah, so yeah, he went to the doctor, and then the doctor turned him into the Rhino, and then now he's got to inject some medicine. So he wants to kill Kraven, capture his
he's a
brother.
bag.
We get a cool action sequence of Kraven chasing after the guys who the mercenary team that kidnapped his brother, and we
Cool
get
is
a lot
definitely a
of
word
references.
you
There's a
could
lot of
use.
references in the movie. You know, like the helicopter.
There are.
He's playing. This is one of them.
There's so fucking many, and it's
so
actually
the mercenary
crazy.
team gets to a helicopter with his brother, and Kraven throws this like net onto the helicopter's like I don't know what they're called, like the footstep onto the helicopter. The bottom of the helicopter hooks onto it, and he does like the Captain America like bicep curl, trying to keep the helicopter from taking off. It doesn't super work because Kraven, I guess, is just not as strong as Captain America is. So he like ties it around like an anchor point at the dock because the helicopter's next to a dock. And yeah, I mean, I thought it was a cool action sequence. It was very, very cool. But they escape.
It again reminded me of the movie Fall Guy starring Aaron Taylor Johnson. Where he's doing, I was telling JD about this because he hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
But the movie Fall Guy, Aaron Taylor Johnson plays a Logan Paul like to the point that they even give him the Logan Paul haircut. And it's the fact that he's not a good actor and everything. But there's a scene in the movie where they're doing a car chase through a city, and I swear to fucking God. But by the way, it's Ryan Gosling who is Aaron Taylor Johnson's stunt double in lore-wise.
It's Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling plays a stunt double in the movie. And it's just, again, the scene is so eerily similar. And the scene in Fall Guy is to make fun of when they do scenes like that in these kind of movies.
When
So
they do
it's very
scenes
funny.
like the ones in Kraven.
Yeah. So it's very funny when they do stuff like this.
It's just a huge callback. So the mercenary team does escape, and then Kraven, you know, tries to track him down, and we get a lot of Draven just killing people. Or sorry, Kraven killing people. Did I say Draven?
You
Sorry,
said-
League of
you said
Legends.
Raven.
That was a League of Legends reference. And
Arcane, winner of the Game Awards.
Well, they didn't win actually.
They did, in my heart.
I mean, in your heart, you can say whatever winner you want.
In my heart of heart.
But did you know that Kraven himself is actually just a reference to the movie 28 Years Later? Because
Yeah, I
Kraven
did.
looks exactly like the other actor from 28 Years Later,
I wonder why.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
It's
But also with the
crazy.
long shaggy hair and the beard and the mustache and facial hair.
so it's like they filmed one movie and then went to film another.
They filmed one movie and they're like, wait, could you just keep that look? Because it fits perfectly for this other movie that we're going to do. Okay,
So
said Aaron
good.
Taylor Johnson.
So good.
By the way, you said this, that you didn't like Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kraven, and I couldn't believe it, because that's like that's the
You
Kraven I
can't?
know and love.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the one that you
that
saw in
is.
the Spider-Man game and
It's like
everything.
saying, well, the one in the
What
Spider-Man
was that
game is
laugh,
just different.
JD? What was that laugh, huh?
The one in the Spider-Man 3 the movie game, that's a different one, okay?
I'm talking about the Spider-Man
That's the comic
2
book one. We're talking
PS4
about the
game.
movie one, okay, James? It's different. It's like saying Tom Hardy wasn't a good Eddie Brock. Like, it's just not true.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead. Tell me that.
It's just not true. So anyway, let's
He
just
was
skip
the
to like
best guy around.
I don't really want to talk about the plot of the movie, because there not really is one. But we could talk about the other bad guy in the movie, the Foreigner.
Oh man,
So
my
the
favorite character
is like this lanky dude, and he always wears like this turtleneck sweater, and he's got oversized sunglasses on, and he also has powers, and his power, I think it was also from the Doctor. No, or is this just a random superpower? It's not like animal related, is it?
No, it's not from the Doctor,
Okay.
but it's
He does have a
I don't know what it
superpower
is.
though.
Yeah, it's something.
So what he does
Hey, you know
is
what? It's something.
he could like, if he has like eye contact with you, if he makes eye contact with you with his raw eyeballs, he can like hypnotize you for like a little bit, I guess. And what he does when he uses it is he takes off his sunglasses and he stares at you and he goes 1, 2, 3, and then you're hypnotized and you don't remember like what's happening.
I think he has the 3 seconds, doesn't he? I thought that's why he was doing 1, 2, 3.
Maybe. Yeah, like he just hypnotizes you for 3 seconds.
Who knows?
You know what? They never explained it, so how am I supposed to know, James?
Hey. Who cares?
Hey, look at us.
Hey, look at us. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought, huh? Not me. So the Foreigner, James says the Foreigner is played by a good actor, but
he is
not from what I've seen.
I'm sorry.
First of all,
hurt me to watch
I don't know. You could be like, Aaron Taylor Johnson sucks as Kraven. His performance is awful. But then you look at the Foreigner.
I agree.
Like, yeah,
it was a bad
actor.
performance. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying he was good in this. Don't get me wrong here.
I am going to get you wrong. That's part of the bit.
I am going to misconstrue the words you say. I don't care.
It doesn't matter what words you say, James, because I'm going to misconstrue them. But it's funny that you say that the Foreigner is the actor behind the Foreigner is a good actor, because I've never seen him before in anything else, I don't think. And in this one, he's not really that great.
It hurts.
His acting is also pretty like flat, and he doesn't.
It is.
There's not a lot of substance there. He has like a little bit of character.
It's funny you say the word substance, JD, because that's a movie he's been no.
He's in the substance. No, so like the only times we ever really see him do anything is when he's hypnotizing someone, going like 1, 2, 3, and then he just kills whoever he hypnotizes usually.
But he does it so weirdly every time.
He does do it pretty weirdly. It's so always weird. It's like one of. There's only been like 3 different ways he's killed someone, but the main way is he goes 1, 2, 3, and then like he'll like the effect they put on him is they make him like blur out into nothing to like symbolize that the dude's hypnotized. But then after he hypnotizes him, he has like this tiny pistol, and he's always behind the guy that he hypnotizes, and he has got the gun pointed at his head, and he just shoots them. That's his like signature way of killing. He goes 1, 2, 3. I'm behind you with a gun. Always have been. And then, wait, what else did I want to say? But there was something else. Oh yeah, and then he's got a little catchphrase after he kills him. You remember what that was?
He said it the final time. I can't remember what he said.
He said it. He said the first time. He said the second time he killed like a couple people.
See you later.
He also said it the third time. It was like, yeah, it was see you later.
I think it was see you later or something,
Yeah, he kills him and he's like, see you later. But it was like, it's not like delivered like a cool guy delivery. It's just like,
no, it's just like
normally.
a genuine I'll see you later.
Yeah, it's like him talking normally. So he shoots him. He's like, all right, I'll see you later.
See you later.
Yeah, that's his thing. So he just says that every time he kills someone.
It's great.
It's
This
amazing.
is the perfect movie.
It's amazing. First off, I really like the Rhino. Okay, because the Rhino, the actor that plays the Rhino, he just kind of goes crazy.
I don't know what his deal is, but this guy has some energy and I love it.
He was probably like the most expressive actor in the whole movie. Like the only thing that
he was
wasn't
having fun.
He was like the only performance that wasn't flat. So it made him stand out even more.
I genuinely feel like he was the only one that was here for a good time.
He felt like he was having a good time on set. So like when we get introduced to him, he's playing with his dog, and we were like confused at first because we just all of a sudden get thrown into this scene where like this like short king is just playing around with his dog, and then he gets like
not
really
short. He is not short.
He's shorter than every single other character in that movie by a significant margin. Yes.
I feel like I don't even recognize, like I didn't.
He was tiny. That was the whole joke, is that the Rhino is this tiny guy. He was really small.
Rhino.
Yeah.
Don't you want to know why they call me Rhino?
Now, he might not actually be short in real life. They just had a bunch of tall people around him. But he looks short. I thought that was the whole joke behind the Rhino. So he like plays with his dog, and he gets like really defensive all of a sudden from his dog. Because his dog insecure. He's insecure because he's short and weak. That's the whole thing, right? He doesn't want to be short and weak. So his dog has this tennis ball that he threw, and the dog's not giving it back to him, like not playing fetch the right way. And he's like, and he just like starts like sizing up the dog, like
right. He gets like overly serious. It's like weird.
He's like, "Well, you think I'm weak or something? Oh, is that why you're not giving me the ball? Huh? You're not respecting me?" And then he like walks up. Oh, this dog's just like wrestling with it, trying to get the ball. And then he goes, ah! And then like the dog gets scared and like stop. And like throws out the ball. Anyway, but the next time we see him, every time we see him, he's in his office, and he gets like told some bad news, like, oh, Kraven killed all the mercenary team, and he's got his like hands over like his wall, and he's just staring at the wall, and then he just opens his mouth and lets out the weakest scream I've ever heard. He goes like, ah! He goes like, ah!
It's like it's a breathy like kind of like hiss.
Yeah, it's like ah. That's the exact sound he makes when he screams. And that cracked everyone up, by the way. That was a really funny moment.
Genuinely, I was not expecting everyone in the theater laugh. I thought it was just gonna be me and you at first.
Yeah.
And then I heard everybody laugh, and I'm like, oh my god, thank God we're not alone.
That was like, I think that was an intentional like funny scene that they put in.
No way.
Yeah. Because there's no way you watch that over again, like in editing, and be like, they'd be like, oh yeah, that's the villain we want in the movie. No, James, that was terrible.
No, I think it was genuine. I think it was supposed to be genuine, and it's just like, one of those like, it doesn't come across properly in the edit.
Well, you know what? Either way, it was hilarious. So.
Oh, you know what? I bet you he thought they would put a noise over it.
Oh.
Yeah, I bet you,
Oh,
you know
man.
what? I bet you he thought they would put like a rhino noise. Because you did make a joke. It was his rhino scream, and I genuinely think it was supposed to come off like a rhino screaming in anger, and they just didn't do it in the final edit or something.
Yeah,
like on the day he didn't
even. But the funny thing is, he didn't even scream like a normal guy. He just hisses. He like opens his mouth, and his face looks like he's screaming like ah, but instead he just goes.
I think he did that for the intention of it looking like stronger than it was.
Yeah.
Like by doing the hiss, he's like he's really getting that kind of like throaty sort of like look to the scream.
Yeah.
Without having to actually like, scream his like fucking head off or anything, So I bet he was like that or some shit.
I mean, but that's just a theory. Film theory.
It's so fucking good. It
was really good. It cracked me up. The Rhino is really funny in the movie.
So great. He's the best character.
It's funny because like he's supposed to be like the big bad villain, but I don't think like nobody takes him seriously.
So pathetic.
Yeah, nobody takes him seriously.
And lame. Oh my god.
He is really pathetic because he looks pathetic. Because he's got the small backpack on all the time, by the way. There's no scene where he doesn't have it until the very end when he's fighting. He always has it. And
they didn't need to make it small. Why did they make it small? I don't get it.
Because he's a small guy, Jay. He's just a little bit comic
It breaks my
accurate.
brain though. It breaks my brain because I'm like, why? You didn't need to do this.
Yeah, it was really funny. So yeah, Kraven eventually does track him down, and oh yeah, I should mention there was another funny scene where James was like no way, but in this scene, the Rhino is talking to Dimitri, Kraven's brother, and he's like tell him all about like the whole um, disease he's got, the rhino skin, and the medicine he needs to take, and then like his assistant comes in, and he's like, he's here. And then James is like, "What? No way!" And then
No, because the previous scene was the fact that he wasn't there.
yeah,
So
the previous scene was like it was like him, it just in his house in like or Kraven in his house in like Siberia or something, and they're in New York City. So I think yeah, are they in London or New York? Well, they're in a city. And so the assistant walks in, he's like, he's here. And then James is like, what? No way. Because James thinks it's Kraven. But then they do the whole like elevator, they do the fucking tropey thing where the elevator is like taking up, like moving up the floors, getting there, and they have all the bad guys like pointing their guns at the elevator. And then the elevator opens and it's fucking the foreigner just standing there. Is the foreigner standing there with his, his fucking turtleneck, and then he goes 1, 2, and he hypnotizes everyone, and then what he does with it, he just goes behind everyone. No, he just picks a random henchman, grabs his gun, and then points it back at.
It's not the random henchman. It's the assistant. It's the direct assistant who's always in a tracksuit. He takes his gun and just points it backwards. I thought he was gonna kill him. I was like, "Oh no!"
He just points it backwards, and then he walks like behind Dimitri and starts eating his food, and then everyone unfreezes, and then the Rhino turns around and he goes, "That's a pretty trick. Would it work if I pull your eyes out?" And then that's where the scene ends. It cuts to a different scene.
It's so abrupt. It
was so funny, dude. Holy crap! You could not tell me that was not a funny scene, James. That made me crack up. So yeah, and then they find out that Kraven lives in Siberia. So they take like a bunch of mercenary teams over there to try and kill Kraven, and it doesn't work. Kraven just kills all of them, and then he has this fight with the foreigner, where the foreigner shoots Kraven with like this trank gun that has this like poison in it, this FIB poison with this MI6. This
MI6
created poison where it shows you your worst nightmares and then kills you. And then when Kraven gets shot with this poison, you know what his worst nightmare is?
Spiders.
He's afraid of spiders.
Dude, it's so
the most subtle Spider-Man
I was making
reference.
a joke to you about what they do for Spider-Man in it.
Yeah,
like
we were joking to each other before the movie about how they were gonna drop in like a Spider-Man Easter egg into the movie, and it was like the stupidest thing where he just like I think I said something like he was gonna be like, yeah, I hate spiders.
Yeah.
Or no, you said he was gonna stab like a spider or something, and that was the Spider-Man reference.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be like he stabs a spider because oh, she's spiders. I never trust them, something like that,
Mm-hmm. And I just said that he was just gonna say that something about Spider-Man, like he doesn't like spiders or like something. But no, but the actual Spider-Man reference was his nightmare is that he's covered in spiders and there's spiders like dropping around
because his mom was afraid of spiders, by the way.
His mom was afraid
of spiders. That's the explanation for it.
Yeah. And so he fights the foreigner while he's poisoned and he's getting hypnotized all over the place, and like he's just putting a genjutsu by the foreigner, and the foreigner does outlasts him. The poison's getting to him, and the foreigner pulls out his tiny pistol and he's about to shoot Kraven, and he's like straddled over him. Like Kraven's lying down on the ground, he's straddled over him. The goons come out of the forest, and then the foreigner is like, yeah, tell your boss we got him. And then they're like, okay, so they start walking away, and he goes,
it's so like they just walk away. They're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
What?
he pulls off his sunglasses. He goes 1, 2, and then he gets shot with an arrow through his head by the female lead, Calypso, because in a previous scene she teamed up with Kraven at his house in Siberia, and she told him that she knows how to use crossbows, or no, regular bows, compound bows, because summer camp. So that's why she knows how to shoot arrows. And she shoots an arrow through this dude's head, killing him instantly. So the foreigner dies like that. And then she revives Kraven by giving him
the potion.
More of the potion. Very powerful.
We bring up the potion, by the way.
We did bring up the potion. Remember I said very powerful? That was the potion. Yeah, we went through the flashback, how he got his powers. But she had more of it, like a bigger vial this time. It was like a big ass vial. Before it was like a little bit, but now it's like a shot glass, like 2 shots worth of alcohol glass bottle. And so she revives him like that. And then they go and Kraven summons like a herd of buffalo to tackle, like run over the mercenaries' trucks while they were driving. And then the rhino, he just like unhooks his medicine tube and he just morbs into the rhino. And then Kraven and the rhino fight, and it wasn't a super impressive fight, actually. I didn't like it that much. I didn't like it as much as the other Kraven scenes, because it was just them like Hail Marying punching each other.
It was basically. Also very obviously him fighting a CG character, so it was like very visually uninteresting.
Yeah, the Rhino CG wasn't like amazing. It wasn't the best. I wouldn't say it's like
I don't know what to think of it. It was
it was in the thick of it. So
everybody know.
Yeah, and then so the Rhino's like impervious to knives and stuff. Like Kraven's trying to stab him and punch him, but it's not working because he's the Rhino. But the Rhino does have a weak spot, and it's his little tube that that's coming out of his abdomen, like the entrance to it, where he administers the medicine. So he gets like stabbed with like a pipe, like a long pipe right through that tube. And that's basically how the Rhino dies. He gets stabbed, but then he gets thrown into the herd of buffalo, and he gets like trampled, I guess, by the buffalo. So he's just lying there dying. And then he does die. And then Kraven saves his brother, who was also in one of the cars, got him out, and we flash forward like we get another scene with Kraven's father, who's like his
father is in the woods.
He's in like somewhere. The tundra, and Kraven meets up with him and then kills him using a bear. Like he calls in a bear and mauls his father to death, because we find out that the whole plot was a master plan crafted by Kraven's father, which I didn't actually. So it was Kraven's father. The Rhino wanted to get at Kraven's father, but instead
or emasculate him.
Yeah, and then instead Kraven's father sent him after Kraven, and so he wanted Kraven to deal with the Rhino. And so that was the plan. And he purposely put Dimitri in danger for that plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he gets mauled to death. And then 1 year later, Kraven's at Dimitri's birthday again. And then we get another plot twist where Dimitri went to the doctor, the Jackal, and got some modifications done, and now he is the chameleon.
Whoa!
And he can shapeshift.
Because they kept having to tell you that he's a chameleon.
I think he'll get better in the future, but right now I think he can only change his face or something, because when he's walking away from the party, and Kraven catches up to him. He grabs him by the shoulder, turns him around, and it's just his own face, Kraven's own face on Dimitri. By the way,
it's instant. It is instant transformation.
Yeah,
except for when he transforms back.
Flips him around and he goes, "You should see the look on your face." And he's got this. He can do voices. He's like a good voice impressionist. The whole movie he's been
able to do everybody's voice. By the way,
during the whole movie,
that was not a chameleon ability. He just could.
Yeah, that was one of his talents. Is even since he was young, he could impersonate someone's voice. So he's just like, you should see the look on your face when he turns around. By the way, that was a Marvel reference, you know, from the whole like, what, you didn't see that coming? Quicksilver reference. It was not a Quicksilver reference, but when he turns around, he's like the same body shape, but it's just, and Dimitri's like noticeably a smaller dude than Kraven. So it's just his head on this like smaller body. So yeah, but then he turns into the chameleon like look, and unlike the comics where he's wearing a mask, it's just his skin, like his.
It's so weird and
his
bad
normal
looking,
skin now is just like this weird like
it would have better been
flat,
you know,
smooth reptile kind of skin with no nose. It looks like Voldemort, but with
it's really
with chrome Voldemort. So
Chrome Voldemort is fucking cursed.
That's what he looked like.
That's such a cursed sentence. Holy shit. Chrome Voldemort.
That's what he looked like.
Jesus Christ.
So apparently that's just who he is now. And apparently they're not on good terms because Dimitri liked his father and he knows that Kraven killed him. So, and also Kraven did lie to him about the whole, or I guess he just never told him that he was the hunter and he killed a bunch of people. So maybe he was also hurt by that, but they're not on good terms. So there you go. That was the end of the movie. No after credit sequence, by the way. We waited for that.
Yeah, we did wait. I was expecting some kind of Morbius or Vulture cameo.
You were expecting like the Iron Man at the end of Iron Man where he goes in like, we're starting an initiative of like-minded individuals. But no, that didn't happen.
I was just they had it so set up for it to be
the Sinister Six. You're right. And
no, I meant like
once the Sinister Six gather, they bring back Andrew Garfield, and then they have the Spider-Man movie with the Sinister Six. Huh?
Unc? Huh?
Because what, they have Morbius, they have Kraven, they've got Venom. That's 3 out of the 6 they need. They've got Electro. That's also in there. I forgot about him. That's 4. They only need 2 more, James, in the Sonyverse, and then they could bring back Andrew Garfield.
They don't have Electro in the Sonyverse.
No, it was in the Sonyverse.
No, he's Andrew Garfield. That doesn't count. That's why I'm like Morbius and Vulture, and
Vulture is not in the Sonyverse. That was MCU.
Well, he
right?
is because Morbius. That's what I mean by he's in it.
Oh, he was the Vulture is in Morbius.
Do you not remember? We've watched Morbius.
I know, but I don't remember Morbius, James. It was a while ago.
How could you not?
If we had a reminder commentary, live commentary track, then maybe I could have remembered it, but we don't.
Yeah, you know, it's just, man, what a shame we don't.
Yeah, I don't remember that song. Yeah, but did Electro die in Spider-Man then? Was that why?
Yeah. He does die at the end of Spider-Man 2. I mean, that's the whole thing, is that they always kill their villains, which I don't like, and I don't know why they do it.
Well, they can just bring him back somehow, like, oh, somehow he's back, you know. Somehow Electro
he's returned.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they had the Goblin too. I forgot about Harry Osborn as the Goblin.
Nice. New Goblin technically also doesn't count because the Andrew that's what I mean by like the Andrew Garfield movies don't count, is because they don't like exist in a way, you know.
What do you mean by that? Of course they exist.
It's iffy territory.
Is this just a new universe they're trying to craft with Morbius?
Yeah.
With Venom at the start, and then Morbius, and now Kraven. And
I mean, there was going to be this. Have I told you about the other movies that we were going to get?
No. What else were we going to get?
We were going to get a El Muerto movie, which, by the way, El Muerto, I think, had one whole comic appearance.
I don't even know who that is now.
Nobody does. He's a wrestler themed character. I don't actually know what his deal is.
Nacho Libre?
Yeah, he is essentially Nacho Libre.
Okay. That's it, or?
I mean, that's not it, but like, that's what I mean. Like,
you mean just like a bunch of other movies just like that, where it's El Muerto,
yeah,
and company.
Yeah, So speaking of, we talked about earlier, but Bullet Train with Aaron Taylor Johnson,
Yeah.
the character Bad Bunny. I don't know if you remember, or sorry, not the character, the actor and rapper Bad Bunny. That's where El Muerto comes from the fact that Bad Bunny was going to play El Muerto because they liked his performance in Bullet Train.
In Bullet Train?
In Bullet Train.
I don't know. I didn't watch Bullet Train, so I don't know. I just know that Aaron Taylor Johnson was in there. But yeah, okay. Well, I mean, hey, that's interesting. I've got an appointment to get to, so.
Oh, hold on, let me tell you about Taser Circle real quick.
Oh, okay. What is the Taser Circle?
You want me to tell you about it?
Yeah, I did.
Taser Circle was a thing that my coworkers did on my last 2 days of work, where they had a taser, and we all put, well, not all of us, 2 of us put our fingers on one of the taser nodes, and then everybody else held hands, and we stood in a circle, and we turned the taser on, and so it would shock everybody. I kept getting put on the end of the circle where I'd have to touch it, and God, that fucking hurt.
Oh, sounds fun, James. Sounds fun.
The first time I was like, "Hey, I don't want to be doing this," and they're like,
"Taser
no,
circle." Come on, James. It's your last day. Of course, you have to do it.
They didn't know it was my last day. This is just
you never told. You didn't tell them?
No, man. I didn't tell any of them.
Your boss knew, though, right? Your boss knew.
I told him the day before. I know.
Wait, do you not have like a 2 weeks that you do?
No, you don't have to. There. That's a great thing about that place. That's what I'm saying. Like
that's one of the good things about that place.
Yeah, you get out of there, dude.
Is that if you want to leave, you can just leave?
Get out.
Get out of town.
Run. No, just run. Fucking say bye and be gone.
Wow.
I mean, I do get my check next week, but like, you know.
Okay.
My boss did tell me, hey, that's a fucked up thing not to tell me ahead of time. And I just kind of went, I know.
Damn, James, I know you're such a fucking goddamn asshole, James. Jesus. What's wrong with you?
I'm an asshole? I'm sorry, yeah. I'm an asshole?
But you don't want, you didn't tell your boss ahead of time.
I wake up.
You didn't want to do the taser circle. I mean, what else are you, James?
Oh, you know, when they sprayed carb cleaner on my leg and tried to light me on fire.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was funny.
I'm gonna miss the funny stories you tell me about your workplace.
I'm not.
For about like 2 months. Because, you know, James. If you guys enjoyed, you should subscribe. Hit that bell notification icon, because that's when you get notified when these episodes come out. And they come out every Sunday. Sundays when they come out. Yeah, that's about it from me.
If you want something else I want to tell you, but I can't remember what it was.
If you like James, you can check him out in the description below. He'll remember it on his stream. He does stream pretty often. And that's it from me. James, bring us out.
I can, because it was.